Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling a document that, okay, might look a bit dry on the surface. It's titled HQ 85925RE001 Solicitation.pdf.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't exactly scream excitement, does it?
Yeah.
But trust me, this is a huge request for proposals from the U.S. Missile Defense Agency, the MDA. And it's fascinating.
There really is.
Our mission here is to, pull out the most jaw-dropping facts, figure out the really strict rules, and just reveal the incredible scale and the vital safeguards involved in building our future national defense.
And that's the key, isn't it? This isn't just government paperwork. Think of it more like a foundational blueprint. It lays out the legal and operational structure for something massive, incredibly complex.
Designed to protect the U.S., its forces, allies.
Exactly, against threats that are evolving really, really fast. So this document, it's setting the groundwork for how these critical defense systems get conceived, built, and crucially secured.
Okay, let's dive in because the scale,
Yeah.
it really is mind-boggling. Right near the start, it hits you with the contract's maximum value, $151 million.
Yeah, $151 billion.
Billion. With a B. But then here's this little detail. The minimum quantity of supplies or services is just $500.
Right, symbolic.
That tiny number next to the giant one, it tells you that this isn't about buying, like, one specific thing, is it?
Not at all. That contrast, it perfectly highlights what this is. An indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contract. An IDIQ.
IDIQ.
Yeah. It's not a single purchase. It's actually a framework, often a multi-award framework, MA-IDIQ. This lets the government issue specific task orders for what they need, when they need it, over a long time.
So flexibility is key.
Absolutely crucial for defense. It gives them this long-term partnership setup, allows the MDA to adapt to new threats, new tech, without renegotiating a monster contract every time. Imagine the agility that gives you.
Yeah, especially when threats change so fast.
Yeah.
And what's the ultimate goal of this massive framework? The document spells it out pretty clearly.
It does. It's aiming for an advanced multi-domain defense system.
Capable of detecting, tracking, intercepting, neutralizing threats.
Neutralizing or otherwise negating threats to the United States homeland, its deployed forces, allies, and friends. And get this part, across all phases of flight, by ballistic, hypersonic, cruise missile, and other advanced aerial attacks.
Wow. That is a huge mandate, a comprehensive shield.
It really is. And the specific mention of that whole range of threats, ballistic, hypersonic, cruise missile, and other advanced aerial attacks, that's really telling.
What does that other advanced part signal to?
It signals they're thinking ahead. It's not just about today's problems. They're building in room to tackle future threats, things we might not even fully grasp yet. That phrase is almost like a placeholder for future innovation.
Okay, so what kind of work does this actually involve? It's not just shooting down missiles, right? The work areas list is extensive.
Oh, yeah, it covers the whole spectrum. You've got basic science and technology, S&T, research and development, R&D, then prototyping, weapon design and development, production and fielding.
Test and evaluation, T&E, cybersecurity, data mining collection analysis, facilities engineering, and sustainment. It's the entire life cycle.
Precisely. From the earliest concept all the way through keeping it running. For S&T, for instance, you might have a task order looking into, say, completely new sensor tech for hypersonic detection, pushing the boundaries.
Got it. And it's also clear what it's not for, isn't it?
Very clear. It explicitly states it's not for advisory or assistance services, ANAS, or systems engineering and technical assistance SETA.
So no consultants just giving advice.
Right. They want partners doing the hands-on development, building, sustaining. They want tangible outcomes, not just strategy papers.
Makes sense. And the time frame. The base period is from 05 December 2025 to 04 December 2028. 3 years initially.
A 3-year base, yes. Which for something this foundational sets the stage for potentially much longer engagements through option periods and subsequent task orders.
Okay, managing something this huge, you need a clear chain of command. And this document is very explicit about who calls the shots.
Absolutely. It draws a very sharp line.
It emphasizes the difference between the procuring contracting officer, the PCO, and everyone else. Only the PCO, or their authorized rep, can actually change or modify the contract terms or take any other action which obligates the government.
Yeah, and that is fundamental.
Why so rigid? Why centralize that power so strictly?
It's about control and accountability, pure and simple. With this much money and strategic importance on the line, you cannot have confusion about who can commit the government. It prevents unauthorized spending and keeps the program's integrity intact.
So what about other government folks involved, like technical experts?
Good question. You have roles like the contracting officer's representative, the COR, or sometimes COTR. They're vital. They monitor performance, give technical instructions on the ground.
But they can't change the contract.
Exactly. The document is crystal clear. They have no authority to make any commitments or changes that affect price, quality, quantity, delivery, or other terms and conditions. Their role is technical oversight, not contractual authority.
And here's the really stark part, the warning to contractors. It says, basically, if you take direction from anyone other than a PCO or a COR acting strictly within their limits,
You do so at your own risk and expense.
such actions do not bind the government contractually. That's serious. What happens if a contractor messes that up?
Well, practically, they might do a bunch of work based on unauthorized direction and then not get paid for it, which could be a massive financial hit.
Ouch.
Yeah. But beyond that, it ensures every change gets proper vetting, it protects the government from unexpected costs, and keeps the whole program on track. It's a lesson learned from past projects where unclear authority led to problems. It's about locking down accountability.
Makes sense. Now, security. With tech this critical, the measures must be intense. The document talks a lot about cybersecurity for controls on classified information, or CUI.
CUI is sensitive stuff, even if it's not technically classified.
And prime contractors have to protect it on their systems, following standards like NIST SP 800-171 Revision 2. But then there's this flow-down requirement for the Information Management and Control Plan, the IMCP.
Right. They have to push that plan down to their first-tier subcontractors.
With the requirement to flow down the IMCP to all tiers of the supply chain that utilize CUI.
All tiers.
All tiers. That's the crucial part. It recognizes that vulnerabilities aren't just at the prime contractor level. A smaller supplier, maybe several steps down the chain, could be a weak link.
So this is about locking down the entire supply chain.
Exactly. NIST 800-171 provides a strong baseline for security practices, access control, incident response, you name it. The flow-down ensures that baseline applies everywhere CUI might be handled. It's a direct defense against supply chain attacks.
Okay, what about foreign involvement? Globalization impacts the defense industry too. The document mentions the Foreign Ownership Control or Influence or FOCI assessment. Yes, mandated by Congress. It looks at whether foreign interests could potentially influence a contractor in a way that compromises security or contract performance.
Influence like getting access to classified info or just negatively impacting the work?
Both. The review checks if foreign ties could lead to unauthorized access to classified information or adversely affect performance of a classified contract.
So how does the U.S. manage this? It needs global partners sometimes, but also needs security. It sounds like a tough balance.
It's incredibly complex. The FOCI process isn't necessarily about banning foreign-owned companies. It's about identifying the risks and putting mitigation plans in place.
Like what kind of plans?
It could be requiring independent U.S. citizen boards, implementing really strict data access controls, maybe even mandating certain sensitive work happen only within the U.S. It's about managing the risks while still leveraging global expertise where it makes sense.
Another safeguard mentioned is organizational conflict of interest. OCI, what's that about?
OCI is all about fairness and impartiality. The goal is to ensure three things. 1, the contractor gives unbiased advice to the government.
Okay.
2, the contractor's own objectivity isn't compromised. And 3, the contractor doesn't get an unfair competitive edge because they had access to non-public government info, maybe from a previous role.
So if a company helped write the requirements, they can't have an unfair advantage when bidding to fulfill them.
Precisely. That's a classic OCI scenario. Without these rules, you risk favoritism, reduced competition, and just a general lack of trust in the whole process. Managing OCI properly is vital for integrity.
Got it. Now, this next one might surprise people, especially those outside government contracting. Public release of information.
Yes, the pre-publication review.
It says any public release by a contractor or subcontractor about the work, technical papers, presentations, articles, speeches, even social media posts needs pre-approval from the MDA.
Correct.
Even a tweet needs pre-approval. That seems like extraordinary control.
It does from a commercial perspective, but there are reasons. First, operational security. Even unclassified details, when pieced together, could give adversaries useful intelligence.
The mosaic effect.
Exactly. Second, message control. The government needs to ensure any public statements about critical programs like missile defense are accurate, consistent with policy, and don't cause confusion or diplomatic issues. It's about preventing accidental leaks and managing the narrative.
Okay, so it's not all just rules and restrictions. The contract also tries to incentivize good performance, right? Like value engineering change proposals or VECPs.
Absolutely. VECPs encourage contractors to find ways to save money without hurting performance.
And if their idea is accepted, they get a cut of the
They
savings.
do. The contractor shall share in net acquisition savings. The rates can be pretty significant, sometimes up to 75% on certain contract types. It gives them a real financial motivation to innovate and be efficient.
That sounds like a smart way to encourage cost consciousness.
It is. It aligns the contractor's financial interests with the government's interest in saving taxpayer money. It fosters continuous improvement.
But tracking performance and costs on something this huge, especially an IDIQ, how do they manage that complexity?
That's where the Earned Value Management System, or EVMS, comes in. It's mandatory for contracts over $50 million.
EVMS, what does that involve?
It requires contractors to use a system compliant with a specific standard and CIA 748. Basically, it integrates the project's scope, schedule, and cost performance. It provides standardized metrics to track progress, predict final costs, and flag potential problems early.
So it's a standardized way to see if a project is on time and on budget.
And on scope, yes. It provides timely, reliable, and verifiable information. It's essential for managing these massive, complex undertakings and giving the government real visibility.
And then there's the tracking of actual things, unique item identification and valuation, UID.
Also known as IUID sometimes.
It requires a unique ID, like a serial number but more robust, for items costing over $5,000, plus other critical or serialized items. So every significant part gets its own unique identifier, like a digital dog tag.
That's a good way to put it. A digital dog tag, or as you said earlier, a digital license plate.
Why track things down to that $5,000 level? What's the value?
It's immense. It enables total lifecycle management. You know exactly what component is where, its configuration, its maintenance history, everything.
So for repairs, upgrades.
Exactly. Rapid fault isolation, managing obsolescence, ensuring safety compliance, verifying authenticity to fight counterfeits. Imagine needing to know the precise maintenance status of a critical radar component deployed somewhere globally. UID makes that possible. It's about total asset visibility and accountability.
So looking back at this solicitation, this blueprint, it's really shown us a world of incredible scale, yes, but also of incredible precision in rules, security, and how performance is driven and tracked.
Absolutely. It's far from just a dry document. It's a testament to the intense planning, the legal rigor, the operational foresight needed for something as critical as missile defense.
It really highlights that balancing act between needing cutting-edge innovation, demanding Fort Knox-level security, and ensuring every single dollar is accounted for.
A very delicate, high-stakes balancing act. It shows how you manage complexity on a national, even global scale.
So for you listening, think about this. How many hidden layers of rules, security checks, and performance tracking might exist in other huge projects that shape our world? Things like major infrastructure or even the tech platforms we use every day.
What kind of trade-offs do you think they face between moving fast, innovating, and keeping things secure and reliable? How might these kinds of detailed frameworks, maybe unseen by most of us, be shaping other critical parts of our future?
Something to ponder. That's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.